This is iHeart Communities. I'm your host, Jade Harrell, keeping you connected to our community. It's the annual Annie Malone May Day Parade. Woo!
Yay!
I am joined by the Annie Malone CEO, Leslie Gill. How are you, my dear?
I am doing well. How are you today?
Well, you must be doing well, considering that you've only got a few hours before the parade kicks off.
Just a few hours, and I'm praying for great weather. Yeah. It is going to be an exciting day. It's our 107th annual Annie Malone May Day Parade.
Get on out of here.
May Day Parade and Festival, Family Festival, yes.
Talk about the new look and name.
Yeah, so we are really excited. Last year was our first year adding a festival component. And you know, Jade, the Annie Malone May Day Parade is really the only family-friendly parade in the city. So we wanted to expand the family element of the parade, primarily because, as you well know, generations of families and family members come out to celebrate the May Day Parade. And so last year we added the festival. And it includes information booths. It includes food vendors, bounce house, face painting, petting zoo. Really just a very fun activity area for kids. This year I'm excited that Monsanto will be on site doing science experiments for kids, and they'll be able to take away an item that they make through this experiment process. So it's just, it's a great time, and the festival runs concurrent with the parade. So the festival times are from 12 noon to 5 p.m., so come down early, participate in the festival, and then find your best spot for the parade.
Absolutely. So you did mention that generations have taken part in the parade, and this is 107 years. What a station to hold. Now, you're among the new guard.
Yes, I am.
Well, introduce yourself to our audience. Tell us a little bit more about you, Leslie.
Sure. So I have been Chief Executive Officer here at Annie Malone for a little more than a year. And I came in and discovered that everyone in the community knows about the May Day Parade, but doesn't really necessarily understand how it benefits our organization. Mm-hmm. So it is our only fundraiser, and we generate funds by parade participants and entries, and we go out and solicit sponsors. Yeah. And so it is a big deal for us, and it helps us keep our doors open. We are an agency that's been around 129 years, created to essentially take care of kids who are at risk of abuse and neglect. Yeah. So today we have a crisis center that is occupied in full, unfortunately, about 95% of the time. Yeah. That means that way too many of our kids in this community are living in trauma. Mm-hmm. We have transitional living and independent living for young people who are aging out of foster care, never experienced permanency, and therefore they come and live with us. We are their home. And then independent living, we want that group of kids to transition into more independent lifestyles so they can live on their own, but we still provide social emotional support to ensure that they become productive citizens long term. And we have a school, Emerson Academy, which is a K-12 school for kids with special education needs. We are really excited about the growth that we've seen in Emerson, and we have a very low student-to-teacher ratio, about 3-to-1.
Excellent.
Yeah, 3-to-1. So, and then the final component of all of this is we're trying to take care of parents, right? So we know parenting can be really hard, and we want to arm families with tools to ensure that they keep their kids safe. So we have a really robust parenting program, everything from classroom-based instruction to a family reunification center, so that they can actually practice some of what they learn learn in a home setting, and hopefully we minimize kids coming into the system because of abuse and neglect. So a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, but what I hear that is at the heart of this is that you truly care about children, and from kindergarten on into college age, you're there. And
absolutely
have been doing so successfully for over a century. My goodness, the lives that have been impacted. But let me just take a second to tell you how proud I am of you, Leslie. I have seen and experienced you at work for years. You are truly committed to community and family and empowerment, and this looks really great on you.
Oh, thank you so much, Jade. You know,
You're definitely benefiting.
Yeah, I spent the early part of my career working for Girl Scouts and in government, and so I really feel like my time here at Annie Malone is a great culmination of all of the fantastic things that I've already done.
Yep.
So I'm really looking forward to setting, the trajectory for Annie Malone and figuring out what our next 100 years looks like.
Jessica, you must have been reading my mind. What is your hope and vision for Annie Malone going forward? What is working that you'd like to continue, or what is something that you'd like to see more of?
Yeah, so what's core to our values is taking care of kids and family, and kids and families that are in poverty. And so what I know we will continue to do is we will continue to be a crisis option when families are in need, right? So middle of the night, whatever the case may be, families will always have a place here, especially kids. So the crisis center will remain. What I also know is we are seeing a significant increase in the number of young people who are homeless, and young people who are homeless become adults who are homeless. Yeah. So I think it is a opportunity for Annie Malone to create a space where we can provide more housing and social emotional support for young people who, maybe are homeless, have been in and out of foster care their entire life, whatever the case may be. But we need to create more capacity for those young people to have productive lives. And that starts with housing. It starts with education. It starts with, a stable social emotional background. So I'm very clear that those are opportunities for expansion. And then finally, and this is something that I've been talking about a lot to anyone that would listen, is that, the young people that we're seeing who are getting involved in human trafficking and sexual exploitation crimes, I think we're on the verge of a public health epidemic here in our community, and I think if we don't do something about the trafficking problem in our community, that we're going to look up in the next 5 to 7 years, and we're going to be on another verge of an HIV epidemic. So
right. And note that she said another.
Yes.
Because that most certainly was an epidemic, still is a troublesome area, and very high incidences here with our young people.
Yes.
It's still yet a problem, and this could be at those epic levels. Yeah.
Yeah, and because of where we're situated in the country, we're the middle of the country. Obviously, St. Louis and Missouri and even parts of Kansas City have very high incidences of human trafficking just coming through all of our highway systems. Yep. And so we've been working
just
on
like any other item or good.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we are a transportation hub, right? And human trafficking is no different. So we are working in partnership with St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department, Family Courts, Washington University, Annie Malone, and the Covering House to create a residential opportunity for young girls who are involved in sexual exploitation crimes, to keep them out of the justice system, and to not criminalize what they've done, but to provide intensive therapy and support so that they can find a way out of this lifestyle. And so we're hopefully this summer going to be launching a new initiative really focused on girls at risk and keeping those girls, out of harm's way. And it's not just girls, it's also boys.
Yeah,
so I want to be very clear.
So we'll just say, our children,
young people.
All together. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned among your services a key word for me, and with the Alive and Well STL movement and the trauma-informed community, you guys are doing so much, and I hear that you're incorporating trauma as a consideration and awareness.
Absolutely. So, we see kids in every realm of what we do, kids and families in every realm of what we do coming in with severe instances of trauma. All of our folks are trained in trauma-informed care. We provide a vast amount of mental health services, either both internal and through a referral process. So, particularly I think about our school, and, we right now have pretty much a building full of boys. And so...
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I'm surprised. All right.
Yeah, no, I mean, when you talk about special education, unfortunately, our young boys are labeled at rates higher than girls. Right. So, we have a building full of boys, and we provide as much therapy as they need. So anything from speech therapy to art therapy to recreational therapy, everything we do has a therapeutic component because we want our young people to be healthy physically and mentally.
Mm-hmm. What a tremendous impact and scope of work. No wonder you got to have a big banging parade.
Yes, and we need people to come.
Absolutely.
We need this to be bigger than last year. And, I want to be very clear, Jade, too, that the parade, while it's an African-American parade and, it was founded to celebrate the great success of Annie Malone and all of her philanthropic efforts, this is really a community celebration. Yeah. And I invite everyone to come out and celebrate, all of the good that's happening with families in our community.
Oh, for sure. Now let's just do our little quick tribute and honor and little history lesson. Miss Annie Turnbow Malone. Give us the background for anybody who may not know about the great Annie Malone.
Yes, absolutely. So she was the first African-American female millionaire in the country, and she had deep roots here in St. Louis, particularly in the Ville neighborhood, where she established Poirot College, which was a cosmetology school before cosmetology schools were even thought of. So this was back in, the late 1800s. And because of her great fortune, she decided to give the Colored Children's Home $10,000 to construct an orphanage. And that building still stands today, 2612 Annie Malone Drive. Mrs. Malone actually made her money through manufacturing and distributing beauty products. So primarily hair care products for African American women, but I like to say she was the Avon and Mary Kay before either of those companies were ever dreamed of. So she was really a pioneer. She was, a impressive and brilliant businesswoman, and I'm just really, really pleased to be continuing her legacy today.
Absolutely, and what a legacy it is, and we most certainly want to be a part. So in addition to the parade, where else do you need us?
We always need volunteers. So come hold babies, come do life skills with our older kids. We need volunteers. We need money. I said that, the parade is our only fundraiser, but we have great corporate support, but we just need individual donors. Give what you can, $10, $15, $20. You'd be surprised how far that goes. We're getting ready to ramp up for back to school in a couple months, and we're going to have to buy all of our kids uniforms and underclothes and socks and shoes, just like, we do for our own family. So, these kids live with us. We are their family. And so we have very, everyday needs. We have young ladies that go to prom. We have kids that participate in extracurricular activities. We want them to have as normal of a life with us as they can. So we try to keep them in their home school and minimize any kind of disruption, which, you know, to avoid re-traumatization, right? We don't want to re-traumatize them when they come here by changing everything that they know to be familiar.
And with that, you have made a tremendous opportunity for us to take part and help you in that effort. Send out the invitation for the parade, Leslie.
Absolutely. Sunday, May 21st. Starting point is Market and Jefferson. We'll travel east down Market to 7th Street. So anywhere on Market will be a good seat. Come down. The parade starts at 1 o'clock. And we hope to see all of your listeners there.
Absolutely. And you will see us there. So we expect to see y'all there. Tammy Holland and I will be on the grandstand welcoming and describing all the fabulous things that you will see. Of course, to be out there to toss you some goodies and, of course, share much, much love. So we'll see you out there for the Annie Malone 107th May Day Parade and Festival. Thank you, Leslie Gill, CEO of the Annie Malone Foundation.
Thank you so much, Jade.
All right, that's it for this week. If you have questions or comments or have something you'd like to include in the community calendar, you can leave a message on our message box at 314-333-8369, 314-333-8369. And for more information about our show or any of our guests, you can visit us online and listen to the podcasts at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. And search Community Connection with Jade Harrell. You all be blessed, do blessed, and take care.